Yes, it is. Okay. Share Chrome. All right, welcome everyone to the July 7th steering committee call. This is our second attempt for a Q2 technically call. Even though we're in Q3 February, March, yeah, Q2. Even though technically we're in Q3. We didn't achieve quorum last call, and today's we have so far attended or attained quorum. So thank you, everybody. Oh, I see David's joined. Oh, thank you for adding David to the list. I think I've got everyone. Let's see. I forgot to make Emily co-host. So as people join, Emily, if you could kind of update the meeting minutes with that. What I talked about just before recording is the priorities. The first is MicroProfile 7.2, then the charter, and then likely config, but I don't see Jan on. So we'll see about that. Maybe a plan status and tutorial. Those are kind of a little bit on the back burner given today's agenda. All right, so the first is the release. I tried to go back and update um, the spreadsheet. Hopefully these dates are right. I seem to remember in August 3rd. I
Yeah,
have July 9th here.
yeah, I remember that you updated because of the delay of the final implementation version.
Yeah, I was hoping I reached out to Roberto, and I know this is kind of late for him as well. He often has family time right about now, so we'll see if he joins. I did reach out to him this morning about the status of Quarkus and delivering a CCR. I don't have that right now, that update. If he joins during the call, which he often does, then we'll kind of go back to that one. Uh, According to this, yeah, we're a little bit behind on the candidate releases. Sorry, I don't think I updated these. I meant to update this. Um, I think I'm gonna have to go back and update the candidate release stuff timeline. But we're basically, pretty darn close to having to deliver. Well, we got to deliver candidate release now of the specs. And technically, to meet the time frame, we could let's see, 13th to the 27th. We're only a week away from having to deliver the ballot for the final releases, right? So, I mean, I've gone through and in my local Git copy, I did a clone in my local Git clone. I updated it, the spec, but I haven't gone through the build process in Jenkins because of the staging repo. So, I don't know if others are maybe in the same boat, but with the staging repo changes, Emily, like, what's the right way to do a build now of micro profile specs and ensure that they get into the staging repo in the right way, giving types changes?
As I mentioned in the last few weeks, I had a PR open and waiting for Roberto to review. He said he will do it. I think I need to chase up. Without that PR, we won't be able to do any final release, because that
Okay.
will directly go to the Maven Central. So we have to get that to the staging repo first, and then we can do the vote and etc.
Okay, so we're kind of, I don't know if we're going to make this timeline. This means it's going to push us into August, which technically is kind of our shutdown month, at least in terms of meetings. Could we do it over Google Groups and stuff, or the working group email alias? We could probably do that.
Um,
Um,
John, but
yeah.
we leave in vacation. We have it, this release, if it's being pushed back, do we need to push back the microprofile vacation?
That's another option. But we don't push back people's PTOs, right?
Exactly. So we already, that's the point. We already, why is the reason when we took the vacation, we said that it was around this release. What happened that we are now releasing in August? How do we get
Um,
here?
Basically, it has to do with a compatible implementation, right? We have to
Ah,
have a compatible implementation.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And that piece got delayed a little bit, right, around Corcus. In the last call, Roberto said he could probably, with not a lot of like extra work, do a one-off build of Quarkus to be that compatible implementation. Um, and I probably should have followed up earlier. Maybe late last week. I was on PTO, so again, getting caught by some PTOs.
Mm-hmm.
To figure out where that is, and he and I haven't synced yet.
Okay, so let's write it in the notes that the current vacation for microprofilers is July 27th to July 30th to August 30th. We get back on currently on um, August 31st, that is a Monday, with a marketing call, and then it goes community call. So we have 5 weeks vacation. Do we need to withdraw one? And even if we do, so that it's just this, um,
Yeah, we could either try and rush it, and I don't mean that in a bad way, right?
yeah, but
Prioritize it to drive it through the remainder of this month, or we can do a pause and deliver it probably in late September.
mm, we will need, I can text Roberto, see if he's able to join. Otherwise, we will need to circle this back, because without that, it will be like interference. We can't speak for the implementation, for those ones working in the implementation, because
Right,
we're
yeah,
blind.
we can't push that.
Yeah, we're blind. So how about we put a pause on this and say, this is a vacation. Either we take 1 week off and do it through what is stated, or we pushed the release to second week of September when everyone is back, or I
Yeah, probably fourth week, just because
yeah. Mm-hmm.
to get it together, and then a 2 week ballot. Um,
Yes. And this can be followed. And my recommendation is that this had to be followed via the working group and the community forum, and ask, so that, you know, so we can
Yeah.
get the formal, hey, this is my recommendation. Move on.
So it's unless there's a business need, we go to release and then speed up things. People committed to do it. I don't think that the current schedule is feasible.
Yeah.
Also, I'll be on vacation next week for 3 weeks, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
oh.
not
Yeah.
here either.
And mind,
I would almost say that drives us into September.
yeah, and mind you that when we did the vacation, we did it very thoughtful.
Yeah.
I asked, when is the release? Da, 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 and we even went early because the release was meant to be the last week of September, so the July. So we were very thoughtful. Let's be thoughtful now too, since this is not out of the blue. If we go to the recording of that call, everyone can see, yes, we don't take a vacation just because. We do it because it works. So anyway, I will stop talking now. And thanks, John.
All right. So I think what we're going to end up doing, let me make a copy of this. And if we try to do this in September, right, it would likely be the end of September. Um, I just want to put this out there. September, for now, we'll just say 28th. I can work on, oops, that's the wrong. Oh no, that's right. Marketing release we'll have to figure out. I could work on a different timeline maybe outside of this call, and update this timeline. Um, if we need to have a September release, but that's looking like what we're going to have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, again, I could still deliver a candidate release beforehand, probably for the platform spec, but it's kind of weird. I've always thought it's weird delivering a platform spec before all the component specs.
Yeah, it's a little bit noisy.
It's
Yeah,
a no, I don't
It's a
recommend
candidate,
it.
so it doesn't matter.
yeah, that's
But
true.
I will say also get the candidates from the spec, um, from the relevant spec as well. I think
Yeah,
it's
so maybe we could
better
try
that
and
way.
push through on delivering the candidate releases
Yeah,
of the individual specs.
I think is I plan to do the open telemetry candidate hopefully this week. And then is
Okay.
the open API. I think they have a candidate. And then the JWT also has a candidate. That's pretty much, I think. Just have these three specs. And then hopefully
Yes.
next week you have all the candidate and you can do the
Yeah, but to
component
David's
one.
point, really don't have to wait for um the microprofile platform candidate because there is nothing technical that ties the candidate release, well, the platform release to um the component specs. It's all just words, right? It's all just text. There's nothing technical build wise. Um,
It's a poem though. It's a poem. The APIs.
from a TCK perspective, yeah, that's true from a TCK perspective.
But from the
No, it's yeah,
for the from the application dependency, maybe dependency point of view, the platform produce the poem.
yeah, but the
That's
words of the candidate release always reference the final releases again in words. Reference the final releases of the component specs, right?
no.
So it won't.
It's a reference is actually we do the candidate as well. When you do the candidate, is reference the candidate, and then
Not when I
when
went back to 7.1. When I went back to 7.1
that's
release,
is some of the spec, maybe the component spec, the umbrella one is too late, didn't do any candidate, so it's directly
that could have
jump
been.
to the final. But normally also if we follow the process, if there's also release candidate, but
Yeah, I had
sometimes
always
it may
referenced
not be the
when I
case.
did releases, I always referenced the candidate releases in the platform spec. Candidate release. And I didn't know if that had changed. So it could be that with 7.1 release candidate, that wasn't the case. I'll have to go back and look. But if that's the case, yeah, I could reference the release candidates of the component specs. I have no problem doing that. It's really not a whole lot of stuff to change.
I can't
So
remember which is spec. I think it's maybe the release Emerson did. Maybe that's 6.1. I think I remember quite a few umbrella candidate release was produced. Remember I reviewed that.
okay. So from one of the issues we ran into is the JWT build actually did um, push their build into Sonatype. So the question is, what should we do with that build? And so that was inadvertent. And when we talked last time, it's like, well, this was all done in good faith. We didn't, we're not trying to break process. So we can still deliver the JWT. Well, now I got to rethink about this in the context of candidate releases. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here as I talk. Um, So the idea was we could still use that build as the final build, even though it's a bit of the cart before the horse situation. Um, and we should be okay. But what, so that release, Emily, was a final build release. Again, it was inadvertent. So what does that mean for JWT?
We still vote. The legal has to catch up. That's it.
That's kind of what I thought. The ballot would have to
Yeah,
catch up to that
we still need
in
to do the
September.
ballot. The only thing is for that ballot, in the past, we pointed to the staging report. And this time it will be directly to Maven Central.
Yeah. Well, actually, we could start that ballot today, technically, if we wanted to, right? Because they
True.
have a final build.
Nothing stop. But the things that you need to have an implementation. You need a CCR, everything.
Yeah. Gotta see what that implementation is at. Okay.
Have the review, have the issue created, the release review, a issue created with all the relevant links for the folks to check.
Does this look right? Anyone have any comments on the notes I took?
It works from a process perspective.
We need to
Yeah.
create a release review issue.
Well,
Mm.
in the comments, it doesn't say that MicroProfile is in vacation from July 27th.
Yeah. Let me add that in just a second.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's put this up at the top.
Yeah, it needs to say that, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Why are we talking about dates and changing dates?
Yeah, I like this. I like
Sorry, what are
open
the
source.
dates? I apologize, Emily. What are the
July 20,
dates?
July 27th
Okay.
to coming back August 31st. That is a Monday.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, Emily, go ahead.
It's arbitrary. I like the idea to have a open source vacation. So otherwise around the clock.
Yeah, like we have two and we make total
Yeah.
sense. We rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other, let's see. I want to make sure I got so the candidate spec would then reference the candidate specs of the other ones except for JWT, which would be the final spec. Okay. All right. Let me create a sub bullet. Okay. All right. Any other comments on the release? Okay. So it really does sound like this is going to end up moving into September. Um, let's see if we can switch over to the charter. So I went through and I resolved a lot of the comments that have been resolved through. Sorry, let me see. I'm trying to get the right size here. Let me do it this way. There we go. This is the red line copy that hopefully everyone has had a chance to look at. So you can see, oops, I thought I deleted that. There we go. Oh, I know why. That's supposed to be a strike through. That was on me because I was trying to clean things up. Um, so most of the changes were to bring it in line with any updated work within the Eclipse Foundation. Um, so they've added, for instance, here, Eclipse Foundation terms of use. Um, they did, oh, so guest members, basically, they're no longer 1 year terms. They're in perpetuity until either they decide they don't want to be guest members anymore, or we have a ballot to remove them, right? So that's why they removed that text. And you'll see that just a couple of times where there's kind of default things that happen, like changes that have happened elsewhere within the Eclipse Foundation that then require kind of errata style updates to our charter. Um, some of the questions were around voting. Um, let's see. I think they removed good standing because it was defined elsewhere. Um, the simple majority voting is being defined, I think, in individual specs. Um, I verified this actually even this morning with Sharon around, what's the definition of simple majority and supermajority as it relates to the number of people that vote, right? So first you have to have a quorum, whether it's simple majority or supermajority, and then it is the simple majority or supermajority of the people that voted. That's the number that you need, right? So if we have 5 people, um, that's our current quorum. 5 people vote, then a supermajority. Is my math right? Is either I think it's 4 people. Would have to vote plus one. And this is true of electronic voting as well. So for electronic voting, the quorum is you have to is the number of people that are working group members for an electronic vote. So in our case, it's 9. If 5 people vote, then a supermajority is still 4. Okay, even for electronic. So there's no change in that case. So I thought I'd just kind of call that out. There were some questions around simple majorities and supermajorities as it relates to voting. Um, they've made some other miscellaneous changes.
I want to
What I
know.
would,
Oh, sorry, John. What I want to know
yes.
is where are we with? They deleted electronic voting. And it's a little bit on the top. If you go up, we see it up.
Yeah, I did talk to her about that. And the reason she deleted this is it's basically redundant. Voting is voting, whether electronic or not. So, whether we do it via electronic or in person, both are perfectly fine according to the Eclipse processes.
Okay, can we go up then? I want to see where, because we had it there. Here, electronic voting, common dispositions. So voting,
Yeah, what we were afraid of is that that meant no electronic voting. That's not what that means. What
correct.
that means is voting, period.
Okay.
It's redundant.
If that is the case and it's recorded, and no one in the Eclipse Foundation can come and say, oh, that happened electronically in the forum, it's not allowed, we will be a -1 on that one.
Yeah, and that's not the case. That's not the intent behind removing this. It's just because it's redundant. Voting is voting.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so I think what I'm going to ask Sharon to do is apply all of these changes so we get a final copy because it's marked up. We'll review that and then we could vote on it. Um,
Also,
because it is a little bit messy still.
yeah, and John, also I stated on last call, maybe it was like what, a month ago, the
Mhm.
last time the community met and we discussed this thing. I said that the thing with the proxy, we understand a proxy needs to speak with a member of the working group, not within their company, and ask if it can be coverage, like what I did with you, right? And then I sent a message
Correct.
to the forum once you said, yes, I will be there. There are no votings, so I didn't have to give you the vote.
Mhm.
However, I did ask if we could adjust the charter or bylaws, you can call it the same, onto a member being equipped to delegate someone from its company to join a meeting on behalf of the company. Do you see what I mean? It will be less
Yeah.
hassle. And we do this, the Eclipse Foundation allows this, like I spoke back when, for when we're contributors. Tommy Trump is a contributor for the foundation as a member, right? So we have
Mhm.
to vote and the budget. And we always delegate a proxy that can join those meetings and vote on our behalf because it has to be signed and things like this. So someone else does it for me or David, right? So I wonder if we could have improved this part and say, and instead of choosing a member from the working group, which we trust, we can choose someone from our company to be the proxy.
Yeah, I think that's allowed. Let me ping Sharon here and maybe we can get an answer before the end of the call.
I don't think
'Cause
it's
she
allowed.
can't make it today because she's on another, I think, call
It's,
or something. So,
it's according currently is not allowed.
oh, it's not allowed.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because as I remember, it's defined in some of the documents that are referenced here. It might be the working group operations guide, where that is defined how to handle the proxy topic.
The proxy has to be a
Another
working
person on
group
the,
member.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, David and I are
Okay.
in sync.
Yeah, the bylaws used to allow you to appoint a proxy of your choosing, someone in your company. The bylaws were changed a number of years ago to remove that. The current
Okay.
bylaws don't say that. The current, you know, not not that that automatically implies nowhere in the foundation, but it definitely means on the board, and they tend to use the board pattern on all the committees.
Okay. And I understand why.
Yeah.
Because
And
someone's got to kind of know what's going on within the working group.
right. And there was not just that restriction, but if you have a vote and the person didn't state how they were going to vote in advance, then you can't vote on their behalf.
Right.
I think we
Yeah,
need to
that'll.
circle these with Eclipse Foundation. This is the second time I mention it, so I don't believe that it's a waste of
I,
air to
I
mention
tell
it.
you what,
Mhm.
we've already had this conversation recently, maybe like 5 months ago
In a
on
month
the
ago. Mhm.
on the Jakarta side of the fence. So I would say if you feel like it needs to be researched, go ahead and research it.
Yeah. So here's what the Eclipse Foundation would like to do. They want us to resolve this charter sooner rather than later. I mean, it's been out here for probably 2 months
Too
for us
much. Mhm.
to look at and review. And what they really want to do, first priority, is the conversion rates to euro, right? So if we keep pushing this out and asking more questions, that's going to drive us to delivering two ballots, one with euro conversion and a separate ballot with a second set of errata updates, right? All the other red lines you see here. into a second ballot.
Okay, so
Right.
let me drop then the proxy, and you can do what you were supposed to do. Are there any of the issues that we found in this charter?
No, I think it's all been resolved. There was a language issue with the word accept, right? EXCEPT versus ACCEPT. They had the wrong version of the wording in there. That's been fixed. Oops. See. It's somewhere. Here it is.
In the
Accepting.
super
Yeah.
majority. Yeah,
Simple.
simple
Yeah.
majority. That one.
So that's been fixed. I think all the other stuff has been fixed. I mean, I'll be honest, I would like to take this to ballot as is. I'll ask Sharon to clean it up. Um, I'm kind of it's been out here for quite a while, and if someone else wants to do legwork and having that conversation with Sharon,
No.
go for it.
David reminded me that this happened in Jakarta already 5 months ago, and I forgot about it. So I will say let's move forward, since I did work on this with everyone in the call a month ago, and we did say in that call that we would get it done this week. Actually, that was the deadline we gave ourselves.
Okay, so I'm gonna just chat with Sharon out of band here. Well, can you clean up all red lines and deliver a final copy we can create a ballot for? Thanks. Okay. All right. That's it for the charter then.
And John, you can write in the minutes that we
Oh,
matched,
yes.
that we owned the deadline. We totally, I would say nailed the deadline that we set up to a month ago.
Okay. Third topic, and I didn't get a chance to review the meeting minutes from the platform call this morning. Again, I tend to I tend to attend about every other call of the platform call. Um, Jan, do you have any microprofile config updates?
Yes. So we discussed the slides I presented in the Jakarta working group, in the Jakarta Future Directions originally, and also in the MicroProfile working group, regarding these two ways to address that. So moving MicroProfile content and the whole working group into Jakarta as one option or one way. And the second was moving MicroProfile config as Jakarta config into the Jakarta core profile. And recently we discussed there might be also a third way that is covering in Jakarta the config spec when it's part of the core profile and all the specs want to use it for configuration aspects. Then it need to be split up in a CDI dependent part and a non CDI dependent part, so a core of the config. And one third way might be that doing the split of the spec and only move as a first step the non-CDI dependent part into Jakarta. That does not solve the problem, for example, for Jakarta NoSQL, as they want to use the CDI dependent part too. and a lot of other specs too, but it would be a first step. So that is a third way that is currently discussed. Arjan brought that up.
There, I'm looking for the slide deck. I thought I had it. Thread. Do you have a link to the slides? I would have sworn you.
Yeah, I need to dig for that.
Yeah, I'd like to get that in the steering committee meeting minutes. Because you listed three, and I'd like to kind of get the three options listed. If they're in the slides, that's fine.
Yeah, in
I
the
don't know if the third
slides,
version's in the slides.
there are the two ways,
Right.
and I could create another or an updated slide to describe the third way of transferring only a part of that Jakarta config, the core part.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So when we have time, maybe it's good to discuss it in a little bit more detail in the next meeting. Then during the break, everybody can think about. But there's some pressure on the Jakarta side to solve that config issue, especially for Jakarta NoSQL, but other specs demanding a configuration option too. And that also means, of course, something like the MicroProfile parent with that automation included need to be moved to Jakarta too. And yeah, some homework need to be done in this working group and also in the Jakarta working group regarding specific aspects that prevent transition at the moment without additional changes. For example, in the Jakarta working group, the issue need to be solved that the TCK need to use a different namespace than the API, where MicroProfile gives the proof that this is not necessary for at least the MicroProfile specs, and changing that when the namespace would change to a different namespace, would screw it up because we have a multi-module Maven module set up, and usually then you use the same namespace in the submodules to link them. So that's one thing that need to be solved, especially approved at the end at the Jakarta spec committee as an exception to have a shortcut for the transition, or discussing a naming convention that is changing that for all the specs probably in Jakarta. That's one of the points, and also for the transition, it's important that we rebase the dependency tree to a Jakarta EE version, and for config that should not be Jakarta E9 as it is at the moment. So before we do a transition, we might need to update that to a current Jakarta E version, which could be 11 or 12 at the moment when we want to wait for 12. And then do the transition, because otherwise that change will be done on the Jakarta side, and then it could create issues when we want to depend on that moved MicroProfile config spec that become then a Jakarta config spec. And that could create issues then that should be prevented.
Does your slide deck outline this? Does it talk about
timelines?
Okay.
That's listed there in the slide deck. I think the older version is also referenced in the platform calls or the platform call minutes, and also in the MicroProfile technical call minutes. It should be referenced.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look for it, to be honest.
The
I
old
thought we
version,
had
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we had a link. Yeah, it'd be great if you could update that slide deck too, with the third option.
Yeah, I will do that, and maybe then we can discuss it in the next meeting in detail.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm gonna pull up my other calendar here. Let's see. Oh, I changed. Oh, that's Jakarta E. Never mind. Sorry. So we have one more call, I think, on the 21st.
Let me
Yeah, I think it's the 21st is our next call. If you want to cover this in more detail, we could set aside time on the 21st.
Yeah, I might miss that call because I'm on a boat, actually. It might be difficult.
Well, listen, we don't want to get in people's PTOs either, right?
Maybe
if you go ahead, Emily.
maybe you share your deck and so the folks to look at it and
Yeah, I can that's a good idea. I can update the slide deck, then you can discuss it. And yeah, I get the information from the minutes. And maybe when I got my email access to the mailing list back, then we can start a discussion there on the details.
Remember, Jan, if we're going to have discussions on this, it's going to have to be on the MicroProfile working group email alias, not on the Google group.
Yes, the MicroProfile minus WG, right?
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think before the end of the call here, you can update the meeting minutes here, or paste a link in chat or something with the link?
I will look if I can find the link in the meanwhile, and I paste it in the chat.
Yeah, because technically, what I haven't been doing that we should be doing is having a ballot to confirm the steering committee meeting minutes. And
Yeah.
so, what I like to do, and what I'm going to start doing, is before the end of the call, kind of get people's feedback on the meeting minutes to see if they're accurate. Because one of the problems is if I send out a ballot and someone says, "Well, wait, we got to add this to the meeting minutes," it's like, well, okay, now I got to restart the ballot, right? Now I could probably have a discussion thread, right, ahead of the ballot too. I mean, that's another way of handling it, but I'd like to get it as close as possible before the end of this call. Then maybe I'll send out a discussion thread saying, "Hey, any updates? Anyone else have modifications?" And what I could do is leave comments on, and people can comment in the either in the thread or directly in the meeting minutes.
But Jan, the discussion is here in the minutes. It doesn't say where. He's talking about the Jakarta, right? Like we're talking about right? So
yeah, really, this is it.
Yeah, so there.
That's a good.
So, there are
That's
two
a good
things.
point. I like it.
Okay, because you were so nice to say, I want these minutes to be exact.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
There you go. Because you asked. You're
Yes.
awesome.
Oh, thank you. MicroProfile. Oh, sorry. Are there any other comments as it relates to Jakarta config? Okay. I'm gonna switch over to the tutorial. Emily, I saw some.
Hold on a second, John.
Oh, yep.
What about the budget? We have 10 minutes to go. Shouldn't we prioritize the budget? Maybe if we get it done today, we can also get that ballot going. Do you think we
What
said we
budget?
would talk the MicroProfile budget from US dollars to euros. I thought it was a topic.
Well, that was part of the charter discussion, but I could switch over to the charter.
Mhm.
Sorry, go back to
That's the
make it
most
bigger.
important thing.
That's true.
I was like,
You'll be happy. You will be happy, Amelia.
okay, because this
Yeah.
part, I swear to you, I don't remember anything about it.
It's decreased slightly.
Well,
Oh,
Yeah.
one more thing, John. When you said to Sharon here, the $1 billion that need to be in euro as well, across the board, all the dollars that need to be in euro.
Oh.
Just leave a message for Sharon, ask her to change this.
Oh yeah. Let me do that right now. Sorry. Boo, 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 boo.
yeah, like I was going to say, this chart, this whatever box needs to be all in euros.
Yes.
So this is, Emily, what you were mentioning, and I was like,
Yes.
what are we doing here? Like, so it shouldn't be 1 billion euros. If the annual fees need to match the cost. I do not agree of just transporting the profits of a company, of an entity, 0 to 0. If we as a company didn't accept it, why should we accept it in revenues? I'm not sure. How is that normal? How is that equitably? Whatever it is, the thing I want to say.
I don't quite get what he means.
Yeah, so do we say 1 billion
euro?
Euros?
Yeah.
Do we want to leave it like that, or do we want to use the exchange rates?
No, we just leave that across the board. All the working group use this.
Oh, okay. So they did that.
Yeah, across the board.
And for reference, isn't that smart for us to write like the conversion below this thing, just because this will be one-off?
Not in the charter. I wouldn't have that there.
Okay, so let's write it in the minutes. What is the conversion that we use? So have a tracing. I believe in tracing. Money doesn't lie.
No, that's fine.
So Amelia, give you some more context for this. So the normally is the conversion is about 8.5 to 8.9, and then we round it down to 8. So it's actually the fee decreased a bit.
So then we use an average, I guess. I wasn't part of the conversation because I was traveling a lot not to conferences.
We discussed in a few calls.
Yeah,
the other working group some working group use the conversion rate. Some working group use the slightly increased times 0.9. So basically, it's the slight increase. Other working group did a direct conversion.
Meaning 10,000.
€1.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are rounded down instead of either equal or slightly up.
So then I think we should write the number, the amount that Emily shared, 0.8.
Yeah, if you look at now, probably 8.8.
Okay.
So is a $10K is 8.8. Now we do it.
Yeah, it is today. I think before it was like 0.85 or 0.87 or something, right? It's in that general neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is really, really good. Emily, thanks so much for the summary. It was so we can say 0.88
0.88, yeah.
euros, whatever it is. I think we need to find the right way to say it. From
but today.
Yeah. Yeah, and we should start the bullet with membership, a yearly membership fees adjustments, convert, US to euros. It needs to be converts. The working group converts its fees from US to euros. Started date January 1st, 2027, because we're not being charged that this year.
Yeah.
So it needs to be, my recommendation is to be exact with actually, we have an accounting year, January 1st to December 31st. So we do that and we just make it specific to the Eclipse Foundation accounting year as well.
Yeah, for some reason, I thought they were moving to membership renewals and fees beginning, well, not membership renewals, but fees beginning January, sorry, yeah, January 1st to December 31st.
Yeah, they always
Right.
do that, but it's nice to just state it here.
No, well, no, my point is I thought they were going to move to that model. So all working groups, the fees would start January 1st. So payment would be due on January 1st and would last a year, but they're not, right? It's
No.
whenever it's whenever you join, right?
Exactly.
For some reason, I thought they were going to move to that, but I
Yeah,
asked Sharon this morning, and that's not the case.
I also, I also had the same impression as you, John, and I thought they changed to be from 1st January to December 31st.
Yeah.
I thought people got prorated so that they got synced into that schedule on the very first year.
Correct. They get prorated. That hasn't changed.
So if they join in October, they'll get the 3 months charge rather than an entire year charge, and then they'll owe the full year for January.
Correct.
So here's the
it's
exchange between Sharon and I. Sorry, I just want to get this out. She said our fiscal year for membership runs January to December. Working group is based on the month of the agreement, right? I said, okay, can you translate that? Payments would be July to July. She said, correct. If you enter into the agreement July 26th, you would be invoiced again in July 2027.
Correct. It's like we all provide a software support. Not all of us, but yeah, some of us. And we go by when the customer joined. And if they want to do something else, we prorate based on their accounting year. So we do, this is the same. We don't need to add it here, but it needs to be a year for the Eclipse Foundation is January 1st.
So just FYI though, I don't recall us doing that in the past, and I swear we've had prorated stuff with the foundation before, but that's not
agree.
That's not the bigger concern. The bigger concern is budgets change. And let's say the budget goes up, right? And you paid on December 1st for an entire year, and then the budget goes up, but you get to sit out that change.
No, I think the prorating, it was if they join in July, they prorate the amount from July to December 31st, because that's the planning schedule of the Eclipse Foundation, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. But then you said they go from July to July.
Yeah.
And that's not prorating.
Yeah. So Mireya is correct. But I have a question for the Eclipse Foundation. When we change this, can we say it changes in January 1st? Because we would like to end the year. Some of us paid in US. So we would like anyone that joins to pay US and have the same treatment that we got, at least for this year. When they renew next year, in January 1st, it goes into dollars. For example, someone is joining, it just goes to euro, to US. Do you see what I mean? This is what I refer to when I say begins January 1st. I am thinking about that member that might join and will want to say, is it exact that it goes directly to euros? Even though all of us have paid US. How do we feel about this? The reason why I say January 1st is because I believe piously that we should treat everyone, we will expect everyone to be treated like we are treated, right? Mm-hmm. But maybe we need to ask the Eclipse Foundation, when do they want it to start? And what is the preference for other members?
I think maybe is a better word is fee changes will happen in the next renewal happening in 2027. So this will
Yeah.
cover basically your current current fee
Mhm.
duration if it ends anytime in 2027, and then your next payment will be using this one.
Sounds good. And what about new members? Do they go directly into
Yeah,
euros?
yeah, new member if they join in the 2027 across the board.
Okay, but if they join, imagine next week.
Oh, that's a. I think if you go to the bottom, I think is there's an effective date for this new charter. Normally for the fee change, they will
Yeah, I
say
thought
that.
anything, yeah, I thought that was beginning for any new contract, it begins after January 1st. So renewals that happen in calendar year 2027 would be
Yeah,
euros.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask some of these questions. Sorry, I see someone chatting here, but before I end the call because
Is
we're getting a bit
Jan.
over.
Yeah, we should just definitely make sure to clarify if fees are prorated, because they
Correct.
should be, and that they were in the past. But that's the only correct answer to make sure that everyone pays the same amount for that year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so David, I remember
Yeah.
similar to you, but only recently I found out prorate basically is yeah, it's, they said working whenever you join, as you got to pay 12 months. I don't
Correct.
know whether there's a change or something.
Yeah, that
I
seems like a
remember.
change if, because I mean, like I say, if we adjust our budget down or up and then someone, it wouldn't be fair. Like it either way, if there's a change in the budget and you don't prorate, then it's not fair to somebody. If the
Correct.
budget goes up, let's say the budget is, I don't know, 100K and it goes down to 50K, and so someone pays the 100K on December 1st, and then January 1st, the budget's 50K. What happens to what happens to their 100K, right? Like, do they get 50 back? You know what I
But
mean?
yeah, but the Eclipse
Or
Foundation
they
doesn't get the
just, or is it just you're out of luck, right? Or the other way around, if someone joins at 50K on December 31st, but the budget goes up to 100K per person on January 1st, now are they just getting the whole year for basically a 50% discount? So, I mean, there really is no fair way to do it without prorating.
Yeah. So we need to ask proration, and clearly the charter includes the budgets. So we need to send first the budget ballot, so that if once approved, only then we can have the charter vote. But this part of the fees need to be fair.
Wait,
Proration is
budget
the way to
ballot.
go.
What do you mean? That
Yeah.
would come before the charter.
Well, the charter includes the budget. Shouldn't we have the ballot for the budget first?
No, the charter does. The charter includes the fees, not the budget.
Yeah, that is what I mean.
The,
The
the First of all,
Membership.
we don't approve, or well, okay, when you say budget, do you mean the fees? Because the fees are not the
The
budget.
fees,
Oops.
apologies. I mean the fees, the member fees.
Okay.
I am confusing everyone.
Yeah.
Apologies. Annual fees.
The budget is what you get when you
Calendar.
add up all the fees.
Yeah,
So
I just
can
had
you
coffee.
can you
Seriously.
restate the question so I understand using the
Yeah.
word fees?
Yes. Annual fee, member fees paid yearly. We need to clarify the proration so that it's fair for everyone. When will this start? Do you see? I was biasly assuming January, but David is correct. We need to make sure that it goes, that it's fair for everyone.
So what
You,
I'm going to do is I'm going to pose this question on the steering committee email alias because that's typically where we talk about dollar stuff. Um, and we can have that conversation there with Sharon. So I can do that at some point after the call today. And hopefully the meeting minutes are close to being up to date. Being accurate. Oops.
Yeah, I put the link. Yeah, you already added that.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Jan.
We did go over time. So,
Yeah, no,
but
and
it's good.
that's fine.
But
We
it's
start
good.
late.
It is good, and I'm glad we chatted about it.
Our vacation.
Exactly. Like, so I'm glad we chatted about the budget because I have missed most of those calls due to travel. So I really appreciate, Emily, your feedback and transparency on it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
It's awesome to talk to you.
Yeah,
everything is awesome.
And everybody else.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, I like good finances, things that make sense.
I feel honored to be in the everyone else category.
I would say it's a pleasure to see to have you, David. A long time no see.
Yeah. You get us both right now. I do not know if you get any other drivers on the call. Cesar is on the call as well, but anyway.
All right, thanks everyone. We have one more call left. Sorry, go ahead, Jan.
One small thing. A board member of IJAC pointed me today on the members list on the website that need to be updated because, for example, Reza Rahman is listed there, Primeton is listed there.
Yes.
So we missed that.
What do you mean membership page for the MicroProfile?
Yeah, for MicroProfile. The working group page, there's a members section that need to be updated.
Well, we need to, nothing gets done without a ticket, a marketing ticket. If any changes happen, we need a marketing ticket so that we can make the change. This will mean nothing if that ticket doesn't land there, being specific on what is the change, what is the change. So submit a ticket.
Yeah, then take the note as a reminder to me to create a ticket.
Thank you, Jan. I think that member, he or she can submit a ticket if they want to, but clearly we can do it. But we should, project.
I'll do it. That's fine.
We should project and be like, submit a ticket. Here is the place. Speak up.
Yeah. I'm still in MicroProfile mode, so I can do it.
Oh, that is awesome. Look at this. John is going to do it.
Great, thanks.
Jan, you can tell that member I wanted that member to work. It's open source,
Yes. All right, thanks everyone. We're 8 minutes over, and we get one more meeting in 2 weeks, and then we're off for a month.
Oh, that's amazing. See everyone in 2 weeks, and this call was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kenji.
Bye.
Ciao, Kenji.
Thank you.